The only thing I'd like to point out is notice that even though I pass the ID of Frank, notice that I pass it as a string. Yep. And the DAO is using find user by ID. This underscore ID is being compared against a string, right? Even though the underscore ID is actually of type object ID, right? So that's one of the layers of abstraction that Mongoose does for you. It does some syntactic sugar and does a conversion for you. And this find by ID, so user DAO dot find user by ID, and if you have the ID here, and let's retrieve maybe Charlie Brown here, and say then Charlie console log Charlie. So there's Charlie, but notice that it's coming back as an array. See that? So really the implementation for find by ID, it'd be nice if we would just get that one element, because we know it's a primary key. There's no point in returning an array, right? So for that, we have find one. If we know that this is it's one element, we know it's a primary key, right? We can say, well, if it's more than one, it makes no sense. I just want the first one. Okay? So if we implement that, we run it, we get just one object. Yes, we get one object. But there's an even better one, right? If we are, this is such a common thing to do, compare it against a primary key, that there's a syntactic sugar for this, find by ID. Find by ID, and you don't have to pass in ID. So I know that I'm going to compare it against the ID, right? And I know there's only one because it's a primary key, right? So if I run that, that still works, just one element. Yes?